Right, so this is my old PC power supply. I built it into this case. It's a case from an old inverter. And I just put 4 binding posts on the front here. This one, I had it for about 3 or 4 years, but it's just blown up. And I did try to fix it, but I can't work out what's wrong with it. So I'm going to have to build another one, but that's not a problem. The one that was inside there, it was only 1.5 amps on the 12 volt rail anyway, and I think it was 11 amps on the 5 volt, 11 amps on the 3.3. It was one from I think it was 1998, I think it said on the board, so that's done well. That was just one like this, so I've got quite a few of these what I've pulled out of computers. So this one here is 11 amps on the 5 volt and 3.5 amps on the 12, but I'm not going to use this one. I may do at some point, but not at the moment. I'm going to use this one here. This one's a little bit newer. It's actually got SATA connectors on this one, so it's quite a bit newer. But this one has got a lot more power on the 12 volt rail. We've got 20 amps on the 12 volt rail, and 22 on the 5 volt, and 20 on the 3.3. So this is still quite a small one, but yeah, it's not too bad. Should be pretty good. It says on here max total power is 270 watt, so that should be sufficient for what I want it for. I mean, it's more powerful than any desktop power supply you're going to buy, so should do the job. At the moment, I've got, for the dummy load, I've just got this Festoon automotive bulb connected to it, just so it stabilises the output power. I've just cut 2 of the sets of leads on there, and I've got it connected up to my RC charger. And then I've got my step-up converter here, which will convert the 12 volts, which is what I've got currently connected, but I could have the 5 volts on there. It will convert that from either 5, 12, or you could even use a 3.3, and that will go anywhere between like 3.4 volts up to 80 volts on the 3.3 rail. If you put 12 volts in there, it will go from like 12 volts up to 80. Yeah, so it's definitely a handy piece of equipment to have. I think this was about £10 off eBay. It's handy for charging lead acid batteries if you've got them in series, so if, like a 48 volt pack, then you can use this to charge the pack up. Anyway, I'll just switch it on. Yep, so there we go, it's working. Got the old RC charger connected up there. This only draws 6 amps anyway, so this will definitely be more than powerful enough for this here. I could probably even have a couple of these connected to it, but I don't normally charge at 6 amps anyway. I don't normally like to fast charge my battery, so that should be, I usually charge it about 3 amps. Yep, so probably have my iMax B6 connected up to it as well, so I can charge more batteries in one go. But yeah, there's the step-up converter. At the moment, the 12 volt rail's going in here, and then we've got the output here with the multimeter connected up, and the potentiometer is here, which you control the output voltage and the output amperage on here. At the moment it's at 15 volts, we'll just turn that up a bit just to show you. Yep, so you can go up to 80 volts on that if you want to. I don't normally use it that much. Usually use it around about 24 to 48 volts. Yep, this is probably the safest. This is probably the safest way to use this, because taking it apart, there are high voltages inside this, 240 volts, and then you've got the capacitors that are charged up to like 200 volts. So it's not really worth opening them. You could just use this and make a little breadboard type thing up with some binding posts on. That would be the easiest way. All you have to do to start it up is you see there, I've got the earth connected to the ground. I just put that little jumper wire in there to start the power supply up. And then you just need a dummy load, which can be one of these bulbs connected up to either the 5 or 12 volt rail. You should really have it connected to the rail with the highest amount of amperage. So on here, you should really have it connected to the 5 volt, because there's 22 amps on the 5 volt and only 20 on the 12. So yeah, you really want this connected up to whichever rail's got the more amperage on, and that will stabilise the output voltage. Yeah, definitely handy to have, and well worth reusing, recycling into something else. Yeah, so hopefully I should have this set up soon. I may put it inside this case here, which I had my other one in. I'm not sure yet, but if I do, I'll make a video of it anyway. Yep, so thanks for watching. Happy holidays to everybody. Yep, I'll see you another time. Bye. Alright, so just a warning, I wouldn't advise anybody to take one of these apart. Even after you've got the mains disconnected, there's capacitors inside here which are charged up to 200 volts. And if you go and touch the bases of those capacitors, they could potentially kill you. So I definitely wouldn't advise anybody to take one of these apart, not unless they really know what they're doing. And if they do take it apart, to make sure you've got the mains disconnected and leave it for at least 5 to 10 minutes after, and then check the voltage on the capacitors with a multimeter. And that means then you can be sure that you're not going to get a shock. But I strongly recommend not taking them apart in the first place. Okay.